All right. Oh my goodness. Going back to this Moses stuff. Like again, it's amazed me. Like again, recently I've learned that the Canaanite way. Right. Again, this is what Moses was fighting against. Right. And the Canaanite way was a way of total sacrifice. It was. I read some of these Canaanite books, and I mean, who your God is who you're gonna be, right? And so, who are these gods of the Canaanites? They were freaking aristocrats, special legal privileged men, right? Um, yeah, no, totally, special legal privileged men, and but that's not what it is with Moses, right? Moses praised Uliab and Basileel. Boom! I think I got that second name, Basileel. Anyways, he praised these two men, and why did he praise Uliab? He praised Uliab because Uliab was a metal worker, right? Uliab could create metal, and he could create animals with metal, right? Little animal ornaments, and he was a metal worker. Doom, doom, doom. So praise has to do with merit and ability, according to Moses. Not with the family you were born, or the dynasty you were born into. This dynasty shit that you see in Dune, is Canaanite shit. Like that's directly from the Canaanite books of old. That's who these gods were. I was in California one time. I was living with my wife and my family, and we were living at my in-laws' place over there in Torrance, California. And we went to, I think it was Palisades, maybe. I don't know. We went to this one community during the holidays one time in order to see a parade. I've seen parades on TV, but I don't think I've ever been to a parade maybe. So I'm like, yeah, let's just take our family to this parade, and it was fucking weird. It was just like you see the Macy's Day Parade, and it's cool. Like I think watching the Macy's Day Parade would be really fun. But this parade, it was fucking weird. It was all of these government bureaucrats riding past, and I'm just like, what the fuck is going on? Like, this is boring. Like, where's the costumes and the big creatures riding? It's just all these fucking bureaucrats that no one cares about, that are famous within their own head, I guess. I don't know. But I mean, that's the Canaanite way right there. It's just like shit. But um like the Phoenicians and the Canaanites are known for being like brilliant merchants, right? These are brilliant merchants. But in order to be a brilliant merchant, you really have to a brilliant merchant in the Phoenician way, in the Canaanite way, is a man that creates scarcity in order to increase value, right? And so, yeah, no, there's just this idea within Moses, and not just within Moses. I was on a farm recently, and it was a cow farm, right? And not yeah, a few years back. But I remember getting there one day, and Teresa had invited me on there. She was working there, and of course, the woman who owned the land like expected me to work there, and I'm like, I'm writing stories, bitch. But it's just like this culture within the American conservative farming community to be just overworkers. So, I work on man. That's toil and drudgery. That's not fruitfulness and abundance and increase. But, anyways, yeah, I spent the time on that farm. I got there, and there was this cow, this mother cow, and man, she was a cranky fucking bitch. Oh my god. And I was just amazed because, I'd seen cow like a few times in my life. I was in Pennsylvania. We used to get milk on the doorstep, like fresh milk, not that pasteurized shit where all the nutrients are killed. Like fresh milk has enzymes in it that allow you to break down the milk. And if you don't get those enzymes and you can't break down the milk, then you get all gassy and fucked up. And I mean, pasteurization just kills fucking nutrients. But I was in Pennsylvania, and we'd get fresh milk delivered, and not just fresh milk, but also sometimes fresh chocolate milk. Oh my god, it was just so divine. But I went to this farm, and this woman was doing this. She was selling fresh milk, and she was kind of doing it illegally too. It was just like weird. But she was just this little old lady, and because like you're not allowed to sell fresh milk nowadays because being healthy is illegal. And I mean, there is a danger there, obviously, but they overblow that danger uh, and then like make it more dangerous. Anyway, um, okay. So, but yeah, no, this cow was cranky, and I later on learned that this female cow who was cranky as shit, and it was annoying me because I was like, I'd say, oh wow, cows that give milk, and like that's awesome, and like you see a pet and you want to bond with that pet, right? But there was like no way that I could have fucking bonded with this pet because it was just so fucking cranky. And I was like, and it was actually crying, like, and I didn't recognize it until after I learned. But after I learned, I thought back and I was like, oh shit, she was crying, But the day I got there was the day that her child got sold to another farmer. Um, anyways, but no, I was there, and she had this greenhouse, and oh my god, like I'd never really been around plants. I'm a suburban death baby, right? I've never really been around plants before. I don't know how to fertilize them, and a lot of farmers don't know how to fertilize because they just use store-bought fertilizer. But whatever. Um, but they did know how to fertilize. Like they had their own fertilized concoction that they built. Uh, and something that, according to the powers that be, need to be wiped out from the mind of man. But anyways, but no, they did know how to fertilize without having to be dependent upon the supply chain. Um, anyways, and this greenhouse, like they were growing bell peppers and chilies, and I think there were tomatoes. There were some eggplants there, and it was just like these plants were just so abundant. It's like they'd grow a plant, you'd pick it, they'd grow some more, you'd pick it, you'd grow some more, and they'd pick it, and it was just it was just this constant, like, I'm sorry, yeah, like scarcity is obviously artificially created in order to increase value, which is the Phoenician way, right? Shit. I mean, to me, it's like, again, this is another Moses video. To me, it's like all of Moses is a condemnation of the Phoenician way. Because if you look at nature, right, if you believe in a creator, then that creator, like, they would also grow weed plants there. And oh my god, it's so easy to fucking grow weed plants as long as you don't, like, grow a male, right? Because I think there's poetic stuff within nature. But if you grow a male weed plant, then it'll turn the females male, right? Anyways, um, which would be a bad thing for the Tibets. But anyways, because you shouldn't create an artificial man, because the artificial man becomes violent, the artificial man can turn against you. But anyways, yeah, no, these weed plants grew, like there were 4 weed plants that started growing there. And I I think I planted them. No, I did plant them because I got there that one day, and there was this little farming bed, and outside of this farming bed were just 4 fucking weed plants that were just sitting there, and I'm just like, what the fuck? And so I go and I plant them, right? And this woman's daughter, right? So this woman's an old woman, and so her daughter's old too. Probably maybe 10 years older than me or so. I'm gonna be 46 on Friday, a couple days. Um, but anyways, her daughter got there, and she got pissed that not only that I had planted these weed plants, because she was gonna take them and plant them in her place, because like the mother had this other space where she grew weed plants, right? And she grew like fucking 12, 16 fucking plants or whatever. Um, and they were totally like not completely taken care of. Like I went there one time, and there were like too many weeds and too many. Uh, yeah, no. But there was just a lot there still. And she was also pissed because Teresa and I were living in her sister's house, who had just I think her boyfriend or husband had killed himself and her at the same time, and it was a double suicide. It was just like, I was like looking at these American country folk and realizing that all is not right, because like they talk about the country being a place of family and God, but like there's a lot of hurt and pain within reality. But anyways, and so it was shocking. But she was pissed that we were living in this house, and we were working, or she was a worker on the land, not me, but she was a worker on the land, and we're supposed to be living in the trailers, right, according to the daughter. So she was pissed, but she warmed to us. She's a good, amazing woman. Um, and but she was the one who taught me and Teresa how to clean and weed, right? And she also after I planted them, she was like fine, she accepted it, and she took a few of them. I ended up eventually planting 2 more. So there were 6, but the other 2 were much smaller plants. But oh my god, these 4 plants, they grew like over 6 feet tall. They were wide as fuck, and there was just so much bud on those fucking plants. I'm just like, fucking A, oh my god. Like there is just so much abundance out there, fruitfulness and multiplicity, and I mean, to me, it's like Moses is a complete condemnation of not only the way we live right now, but the way we live right now is the same way as the Canaanite way. Like, I remember watching this thing online. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. And it was this archaeological thing. And I like learning about archaeology. It's really fun. And but there's this archaeology thing, and in the Phoenician Canaanite world, there was a archaeological site, and guess what they found there? Oh my God! Guess what they found? They found the world's first factory. Like, what progress? What progress, right? Yeah, I mean, you see how false praise and false condemnation can destroy society. What progress? The first fucking factory. Like, Moses was condemning the taskmaster, right? Because we should all be our own taskmasters, right? And Moses wanted us to be like Uuliap and wanted us to create our own stuff. But he also wanted us to be like himself, because he was what we would call a Renaissance man. He was very multi-talented. He didn't just like, there was this one study, and I've talked about it before, but it was a brain study, and they hooked up these monitors to the brain, and they had people play Tetris. And when these people first started playing Tetris, their brainwave activity was through the fucking roof. It was through the fucking roof. But the more they played and the better that they got, their brain activity went down. Right? So I think that study proves that we need multiple disciplines within our life in order to be satisfied. Like, we look at a superhero like Batman, and I think that's why we like Batman, because Batman, he's a kung fu guy, and he's an electrician, and he's a fucking engineer. Shit, he's a fucking chemist, right? We admire that because that's what we want. And it's such a thing that would bring about a world of fruitfulness and multiplicity, increase in number. And so I'm totally starting to see the Torah as this complete and total condemnation of not only a life of total sacrifice, but also a condemnation of scarcity that is artificially created.